Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Glazan Nuzarani and my study number is 2500004018. And I want to tell about my book, The Black Lizard, and the writing is Edogawa Rampo from Japan. Okay. The Queen of Underworld is a was one on Christmas Eve, when 1,000 of Turkey were slaughtered in one night in this country. In the imperial capital most boasting district, where the neon light stretched like a rainbow over the darkness, dyeing the dance of the thousand of the past persevere in house of fivefold brilliance, just a step away from the main street of the G district. There lay the underworld of the city. By even 11 o'clock in the G-town, the street fell into a great hush from the nocturnal bright, though with a certain decorum befitting the premier district of the imperial capital almost entirely desert. In sharp contrast, the underworld, the light just behind beguiles the street with life. Just until 2 or even 3 in the morning, insatiably hedonists, both men and women, ride athwart the dim-lit interiors of slaughtered buildings, lost in their pursuit of pleasure. It was around 1 in the morning of Christmas, and inside a massive, pitch-black building that seemed almost abandoned from the outside, deep in the underworld of wild, extraordinary party was recited in a peak. On the wild floor, on the nightclub, dozens of the men and women swirled in the chaotic dance, some raising their glasses and shouting a bravo. Others fighting with the stripper, point hats as one chased a girl in a gorilla costume, while others carry out screaming or rage uncontrollably. Above them, clouds of five-colored confetti drifted like a snow ribbon of the tape cascaded from the ceiling, and countless red and blue balloons floated aimlessly throughout the thick, choking heads of cigarette smoke. Look, the dark angel, the dark angel! Here's come the dark angel! Bravo! Long life the angel! Long life the queen! The drunken sound lured together, and slowly gave way to bursts of pleasure. A woman stopped exactly into the middle of the crowd, slipping carefully into the center in the room, in a pitch black evening dress, pitch black hat, pitch black glove, pitch black socks, pitch black shoe, and all black. Her radiant beauty was flushed and blooming like a crimson rose. Good evening, gentlemen. I'm already quite drunk, but let's drink more and let's dance. The beautiful lady lifted her right hand and above her hand and called out in the sweet lightning voice, "Let's drink, let's dance. Long life the dark angel." Hey boys, champagne, champagne. A moment later, a sparkling ripple cracked a thousand on the air, and the crowd bullets shoot skywards, creating the five-colored balloon overhead. All around, the clinking of the glass rang out, and once again, the crowd erupted into a joyful chorus. Chorus? Bravo, the angel, they said. Where on earth had the queen on the underworld frame come from? Even without knowing a thing about her face, anyone could see her breathtaking beauty, her audience behavior, her extravaganza lifestyle. The endless array of glittering jewels she wore, any one of the thousand be enough to crown her queen. And yet, she posed even great allure, she was a very exhibitionist. Dark angel, give us your famous fairy of the jewel dance, someone shouted, and the room erupted into the cheers and applause. The band in the corner stood up on the tune, the studic saxophone still here throughout the room, tickling ears with a sandstone. The jewel dance had already begun at the center of the crown. The dark angel had transformed now, and she was a light angel. Inside, from the two lavish necklace, tuning jets earring, diamond stud bracelets, and the three glittering rings of the finger. Not a single train of fabric aboarded her radiant slutted body. She had become shimmering pink-hued figure of flesh and light, dancing with the grace on executing our dance, her body swaying and rising with erupting. Hey look! The Black Laser has started to crown! How incredible! No way, it really seemed alive. The little creature moved like a reel. The two young men in tuxedo whispered softly, their glass locked on her every movement. A pitch-black looking lizard was crawling on the beauty woman's left arm. Her arm swayed. It seemed to start crawling out, wobbling on his sucker equipment legs. At any moment it looked as if I might crawl up her shoulder, neck, chin, and even her slime break red lips. But it continued the wriggle on the same arm. It was a tattoo from a lizard so lifelike. It seemed almost real. As a sample, this shameless dance lasted only 4 or 5 minutes. But when it ended, the drunken, erupted gentleman surged from in the wave shouting passionately. Each with their own crying, on suddenly honestly the naked beauty and the air. Parading, they drove the room like a sharp Mikoshi to wheelchairs. It's cool, so cool. Take me to the bathroom quickly. At the defiance command, the Mikoshi procession moved in the corridor, parading toward the bathroom that had been treated in advance, with the jewel dance of this woman drawing to its final close of the underworld Christmas Eve. The ghost began to drive away, leaving in the 2 and 5, return to their lover, to their hotel, or simply to their home. After the night reveille, the grand house was laid in a quickly disarray. So with 5 colored confetti and curling ribbons, like a wart abundant after a ship departed, a few balloons still clinging in a hind of bouncy, drifting along the ceiling, dipping in the sense of melancholy. In the chair, the corner of the room, deserted like a backstage of the heater, sat a young woman. A young man, passively left behind, looking like crumbled head of the rank. He wore a flashy strip of stake out and the bring red tie. His appearance effect almost trivial, with the brown shoulder and flat boxer nose. He had will of strong, rugged man, clearly some with difficult or unusual character, and yet slumping over utterly deflated in a way didn't match blood apparition. He looked upward like a discarded scrap of the cloud. What the hell is doing moving around like that? Just what is she darling for? This is do or die. I'm about to lose my damn mind worrying the cops more burn in any second. He suffered, then shone his right finger through his tangled hair. Then a boy in a uniform stepped around pile of the tapes and broke in a glass vase and looked like a whiskey. He took in a skull him. You're too late to take a big gulp and ordered one more. Sorry to keep you waiting, Jun-chan. Jun-chan. Then, finally, the young man had been waiting for a period. It was Dark Angel. I managed to get past those noisy boys and finally made it back now. Let's hear your once in a lifetime request. She, she sat down in the chair in front of him, putting on serious face. Not here. The young man called Junchan, still with a bitterness expression on his face, answered in loud noise, in loud voice, because it would be bad if people hear. Yes. It screamed. Yes. Did you hear someone? No. If I were only that, I would be this worried. The woman in the black simply stopped up without asking any more. Then, let's go outside. This street is deserted now. Aside from a few construction work, no one's around. Let's talk a while, we thought. Yes. And so this stranger pet, the ugly young man in the red tie, and the strangely beautiful Dick Angel, left the building side by side. The world outside was dead. The only things that showed out were the string light and the split, silent and still. They fostered and joy and the rhythm. What are you doing? The gloomy look doesn't suit you, Juntan. The woman in the black brown broke in the silence. I killed it. Junchan replied in a low, early flat voice, his eye fixed on the ground. Oh, woo! The woman, surprising, showed little reaction to such a shocking confession. My rival, that bastard Kitajima and that Sram Sakiko. So, you really want to throw it? Where? In the apartment. Their corpses are stuffed in the clothes. They definitely be found out tomorrow morning. Everyone knows the history between the three of us. And the guard at the apartment or whatever know that I was the one went into the room tonight. So if I get caught, it's all over. But I want to free a little longer. So you planning to skip town? Yes, madam. You always say you own me your life, don't you? Of course I do, Duncan saved me back then. When things got dangerous, every since the night, I've been quite thick with your strength. Then, please, let me ask something in return. Let me 1,000 yen to get away. A mere 1,000 yen is nothing, she said. But do you really think you can get away? You end up getting caught, no doubt, and fumbling around the docks in Yokohama or Kobe. Running in a panic like this is in the height of foolishness. She spoke as she familiar with art of flashing. Then you want me to hide out in the Tokyo? Yes, at least that's slightly better. But of course, it's still dangerous. Maybe there was smarter way. The woman in the black suddenly stopped and stood still, streaming and lived in the town when the unexpected asked something strange. Juntan apartment is on the 50th floor, isn't? Yes, but what about it? The young man replied, terrible. Oh, how wonderful! From the beautiful woman's lips burns a surprised voice. There's a perfect way. It's as I everything was plain out, Junchan. There's a way you can be completely safe. What is it? Please tell me quickly. The young man said. The dark angel, for some reason wearing an uncomfortably faint smile, stared intently into the pale face before her eyes and smiled, putting force into each word. You have to die. You must kill off the person known as Junichi Amamiya. What? What did you say? Young Junichi was dumbfaced. His mouth appeared unable to do anything but stare at the beautiful face of the queen of the underworld. Thank you so much for me.